Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Sunday the 16th of May 2021. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to use the Universal Tarot for today's reading. This deck is made up just of major arcana cards, so it looks at big universal themes. And let's see what the cards have to say about Sunday and what the story is going to be. So let's have a look. First card is in here. The Fool, Justice, and the Stars. Okay, so the Fool is a card that says some new notions and new ideas start to form in your mind. You're inspired, you're connected with the higher realms, and you get the sense that you can start fresh, that your story isn't quite over yet. And it's this energy of being inspired by something which is important to you and which seems kind of unlikely in the real world. So we've got a young man who's setting off on his journey. He's got his dog here. He's packed his lunch. He's holding this red rose. So he's very passionate about doing something new. He doesn't know exactly how to do that. So the foolishness of this is kind of symbolized by this packed lunch, because usually when you do something in life, when you go on a journey, it's going to take a little bit longer than a couple of hours. And not only is he out here in the baking sun with very little kind of provisions, he's also about to walk off a cliff. So the card is saying, yes, it's great and important to have these new ideas and to dream big and to say, I can do things differently. But it's also important to recognize that sometimes things do seem unlikely because there is a big chance that you may fail. Neither reality is more important or stronger than the other. So, some people start a new business in their bedroom and it turns into this huge global corporation and it's a major success. And other people start a journey thinking it will be done in a day and things go really wrong and they blow out a tire and there's no accommodation and it really turns into a bit of a nightmare. But you don't know what the outcome is going to be. And the important thing is that if you want to live your life the way you're supposed to live it, you have to have a little bit of faith sometimes in your own ideas that they can work out. So the Fool isn't about being silly. It's about believing in yourself despite the odds. And that's really important. The good news here is that the Fool card is followed up by the Justice card, and the Justice is really the opposite of the Fool. The Justice is educated. It's about balance. If you look, we've got the scales here, the glyph of, or the symbol for Libra in astrology, and that is the only sign of the zodiac really that's not a living thing. And it's really about an idea, an ideology, a spiritual principle. The card is about cause and effect. It's the karma card really. And it says that there is perfect balance. And if you take an action, it will have a consequence. And that's really kind of, PhD level thinking. You don't know any of this when you're 2 years old and just kind of concerned with what's in your vicinity. This is something that isn't foolish, and it's something that is incredibly informed. So if you combine that with this amazing ability to dream big and to say, I know the world says that this isn't likely to work out, but I'm going to dream big anyway. I'm going to believe in myself and I'm going to start something new. If you look at the 0 here, it's a complete circle. So this Fool can appear in every stage of things that you're working on. And it's this ability to look beyond the circumstance or beyond what is likely to succeed and what isn't succeed, and to say, this is an idea that comes from within. And it's not an end, and it's not a fresh start. It's something that I can resort to at any moment and make this my own. And by thinking for yourself and saying, what is important to me and what am I passionate about? What do I want to do independently? In conjunction with this card, it's saying that that wonderful, pure thought and notion is going to have an outcome that's very similar to the initial idea, which is really positive because this is a pure thought that's important to you in some sort of abstract way. And if you do something with this, if you act, it's going to serve you. It's going to serve other people. It's likely to be for the greater good. And also there's a balanced outcome. If you put in 50%, you will get 50% back. And that isn't always the case. Sometimes you put in 80% and you get back 20. So imbalance. But that isn't the case today. If you are authentic with yourself and you really ask yourself, what is it that I want to do in future? What direction do I want to go in? Then the Justice card ensures that the path is laid out for you. She's wearing red and green. So if you are true to yourself and you listen to your passions, you act on them, you decide to go ahead, then the universe is going to meet you halfway and say, even though this is unlikely, or it seems foolish to other people or the circumstances you're in, we're going to make sure that you will get somewhere with this. And it's kind of like taking an educated guess that pays off. That's what the cards are saying. So really trust in what your gut says or what arises from within, what you're dreaming about. And actually, if it does seem unlikely or foolish, that's actually the green light for you to consider it in earnest, because this Justice card is at the center of this reading, and it says that there is this amazing spiritual law at work today, and if you put something in, you're going to get the outcome that goes hand in hand with that energy or that idea. And the Fool card is a really positive, high vibration, high frequency notion that stems from within you. And when the universe is on your side like this, you can't really go wrong. And then finally, this is highlighted by the Star card, which is also about being vulnerable and being true to yourself and saying, it is enough for me to be me and to let go of all the things that I thought I needed to be something special. Let's go back to basics. Let's get rid of all of this stuff that I've acquired, and let's just go with what I've been given, and let's go with the person that I truly am, and let's put that in the spotlight. And when you do that, you really, really shine, and you're giving yourself a chance to really go in the direction that you've always meant to have gone in, if that makes sense. So the feeling I get is that your angels, your guides, the ascended masters, higher beings, which really want the best for you, are kind of placing an idea or a thought into your head, something that really becomes very apparent to you and that normally you may judge as impractical and nonsense. But on this day, you don't do that. You withhold judgment. Interesting saying that with the Justice card at the center. And you actually see that by suspending this judgment and just dismissing it as impractical and instead doing something about it will surprise you, because you will see that you get a really positive outcome. That then encourages you to keep going, and it provides you with evidence that you are good enough, that your hopes and dreams are there for a reason. They're meant to exist inside of you, and if you follow up on them, they really put you in a position of expertise and leadership, and you'll be in the limelight for being true to yourself, doing something good for yourself that benefits your life, and then in turn benefits other people, because you will serve as an inspiration. So it's a really abstract reading that has nothing to do with the real world, really. It has very much to do with how you feel about yourself and what you're willing to do about the things that exist only inside of you. And the card is saying if you honor yourself enough to do something about your dreams which seem ridiculous or ludicrous, they're not going to be that laughable, because the outcome is actually going to be very balanced and is going to work in your favor. So at the end of the day, you'll look back and you'll say, wow, this idea that I had this morning and that seemed really silly, I actually didn't judge that and throw it out the window. I did something about it, and look at me now. I've really benefited and I'm in the best position I've ever been. Well done to silly ideas. Hooray for silly ideas. Look at where they can get me. So that's a really nice reminder that there is something positive and loving and bigger that takes an interest in your existence and your experience here on planet Earth. And when you talk to that positive force and work with it, you can really be surprised in your everyday experience, and life can really provide you with something positive that you never saw coming or that you couldn't even imagine, something beyond your wildest dreams. So have faith in yourself, in your silly ideas. They're really going to take you far. Number-wise, what have we got? We've got 17 and 11 is 28. 0, obviously 28. 2 and 8 is 10. 10 reduces to 1 in numerology, and 1 is the magician. It's about listening to your higher self, translating that information through you, your internal meaning-making machine, and then doing something with that information in the real world and creating magic for yourself and for other people right here on planet Earth. Wow. So it's a really, the most important thing is what's going on for you internally. And I don't see your external circumstances making a lot of waves or demanding your attention all day. So really, if there is a lot going on for you in your life, if you're moving or if you have to meet people for lunch or whatever, then really do try and carve out a part of the day where you can just kind of have that inner dialogue, and where you can listen to what's going on for you and to really do something about it, because that's where the value lies today. What it lies internally, not externally. So have a wonderful day. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on book your reading to audio reading with me. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and share the video online. Have a fabulous day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.